Welcome, everyone, to our final meeting of 2023. Tonight, our Board of Commissioner meeting, I will call to order December 21st, 2023 at 7 p.m. Ms. Jones, could you call the roll, please?
Present.
Present. Item number 3 is prayer and pledge. Vice Mayor Butler.
Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a group, and nurture the bonds of our community. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item number 4 is mayor's comments. I want to welcome everyone to our meeting tonight, everyone who's here and everyone watching at home. Thank you for our officers who are here keeping us safe tonight, and Sergeant Hill, who's providing our safety out front. Welcome to everyone, and we will get started. Item number 5 is approval of the agenda.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adjust item F from discussion to first reading of ordinance 2023-13.
Anything else? Ms. Jones?
A motion to approve as amended.
Second.
All right, sorry, first, second. Ms. Jones?
Vice Mayor Butler,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner Johnson, Mayor Anderson,
Aye. Item number 5 passes 4-0. Item 6, any citizens' comments tonight?
none tonight, Mayor.
Thank you. Item number 7, public announcements, awards, and recognition. A, city events.
Thank you, Mayor, Board of Commissioners. We had a very successful year with events throughout the city, and we're excited for events for next year. We'll be adding events to the calendar throughout the year. I believe the next event will be for the Easter egg hunt, March 16th. But just appreciate all the community involvement and appreciate staff.
Thank you. Item 7B, we are very excited tonight to recognize our Fairview Titans Pee Wee football team for the win of their Super Bowl. So if there are coaches here, if you'd like to come forward and say a little bit about the team, and then we'll announce any players who are here and get some pictures.
So a little bit about the team. We had a pretty good group of kids. We had 15 total kids this year, so numbers were down just a little bit. But when you look at the group of kids, we kind of what I call a miracle season. Really a strong group. They came out, really worked hard. We expected a lot out of them. I mean, you take 5, 6, 7-year-old kids. And we ran. I've been fortunate to coach high school, middle school football, and we've done a lot of the same stuff, a lot of the same terminology, a lot of the same systems that we kind of incorporated. A lot of the things that people said you couldn't do with 5, 6, 7-year-old kids, and we did. We entrusted them, and they were actually mature enough, and they adapted to what we put in place with them. So we ended up. Taking 15 kids, and we played teams that had anywhere between 30 to 40 kids for the most part. Started at least one 5-year-old in every game, which was pretty miraculous considering that you have a 5-year-old kid playing against a 7-year-old kid. We ended up winning undefeated season. and we scored 258 points and only allowed 40. So with that, this group was really physical. They were dominant. They played defense probably better than any group of kids I've ever coached. And if you take the definition of teamwork, that group of kids is plastered all through teamwork. Nobody was, they played for their team. They didn't play for themselves. And, they really came out and done everything we asked out of them, and actually a lot more than I really kind of anticipated and figured that they would do for us. And so I'm just really proud of them. It's some of these kids, this is their second year in a row to be Super Bowl champions. But for them to go undefeated this year and the way they did it, I'm just really impressed and really proud for that group. We only have about three kids here representing tonight with kids out of town and some other sports functions that they've got going on. But, I was just really, really proud of that group.
That's awesome.
With us tonight, we've got three young men, Cooper Ward, Paxton Kennedy, and Odell Billingsley. And both of them, all three of those kids, they started both ways for us, offense and defense. Odell played running back, Paxton played center on offense, and Cooper played end on offense, and some tackle. And then on defense, Cooper played defensive end, Paxton played middle linebacker, and Odell played middle linebacker. So a bunch of hard-nosed little fellows right there. Like I said, really proud of them, really proud of what they've accomplished. Hard work. They played really physical. And if you give me a group of football players that play physical versus a group of football players with the same skill that play with finesse, the physicality is going to win every time. And those young men didn't mind being physical, and they didn't mind playing fast. And that was kind of our motto: fast and physical. So, thank you guys for recognizing them and allowing us to, have football in our community. And we're going to see a lot of these kids transition through their life and the game of football and with any other sport, as most of us have probably played. You use those life skills to either become who you are as an adult or, being successful throughout your career. And it's just really, really good to see those kids come out and participate in that.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Guys, we'd like to get your picture. Can you come up front? Cool. We'll come around. Odell, did your brothers help you learn to play football? I bet they did. Great job. Undefeated? Oh my goodness. How awesome is that? Absolutely. Let's give these guys another big round of applause.
I'd like to recognize some of our coaches too. My name's Darren Kennedy, a head coach. We had James Smith and Jake Smith, assistant coaches. Calvin Billingsley, assistant coach. Big A Ward, assistant coach. Let me see. What is Mike Mitchell, an assistant coach for us? He was actually our offensive coordinator this year. Calvin Billingsley was our defensive coordinator, and Jake Smith, he helped us with our line. Him and Big A helped with the line, and Victor Douglas. Victor, was a really good running back for Fairview High School, and Victor helped us out a lot with our running backs and linebackers. Just like I said, it's a community effort, and a A lot of those coaches, you can only be successful with people that participate in the community, and without that participation, we wouldn't be where we were at.
Thank you. Now, guys, y'all are welcome to stay for the rest of our meeting, or you can, go ahead and, yeah,
Mayor, Council.
Thank y'all.
thank you.
Good people. Thank you.
All right, item 8, staff comments and monthly reports. A is community services report.
Good evening, Board of Commissioners. The Public Works Department finished the final cut of the right-of-way mowing for the season, replaced numerous street signs and speed limit signs throughout the city. They completed the first month of leaf removal service. There were 297 bags collected. They put up all of the decorations around the city, including the Christmas tree out front, assisted with the tree lighting. They set out the detour signs and worked with traffic for the Christmas parade. They did litter removal throughout the city as well. And recently, we have had several sidewalk fixes throughout the city to address some of our sidewalk problems that we've had. The Planning and Engineering Department had 7 residential building permits issued, 102 building inspections completed. And just a reminder, our Planning Commission meeting for January is January 9th, which will be fairly quick after the new year.
Thank you. Item B, Police Department report. Chief Humphreys.
Good afternoon. My PowerPoint up? I hope so. There we go. I really wish I had a report as awesome as those kids winning that Super Bowl, but I do not. It's not nearly as exciting and compelling as that, but we'll get through it. Here's our report for the month of November. Give me the first slide, please. All right, staffing, we had moved back up to that 27 mark. We're happy to be fully staffed, but we think that is going to change over the next month. We unfortunately think we have an officer that is going to leave us. Of no fault of Fairview, she's relocating back to Cleveland, Tennessee, to her home where her family is, so we hate to lose her. Overtime's down just a little bit for last month, from the month of October, which is a good thing. And our training hours are down. They tend to dip a little bit towards the end of the year as we close some things out. We did do some field training officer school that was getting our FTO officers that train our new officers in to a school, give them an added skill set to when we onboard new officers. Next slide. Cost of service is very close to the month prior, 1,000 there in October, dipped just a little bit to 972. That stays pretty consistent over the months. Next slide. The arrest down just, arrest up just a little bit. Most consistent, mostly with domestic. DUIs the same. Drug charges consistent. We've not had, a good thing, we've not had any upticks in theft lately. That's generally consistent with the time of year. We do have that around Christmas. It's not been that. Citations are similar. And traffic accidents, again, consistent with what the normal months are. Next slide. We know nothing to add for the last month of public relations. I was going to save it till my next month's presentation because for December. But we did have our shop with the cop last weekend, 44 kids, amazing, a lot of bicycles, a lot of toys, a bunch of smiles, and we were happy to do that. That went off really well. In addition to our new officers, we have added Tiffany Fry. She is from East Tennessee area, relocated to the Dixon area, did some time there in corrections and bailiff. We were able to capture her over here. I think that's an absolute great addition. And then Connor Brooks, again, not from here. I think he spent some time in the 101st Airborne, which is what got him to Middle Tennessee, and lives on Williamson County Line Road. We were able to grab him up too, and those are awesome additions. That's it for my report, but I did want to ask one thing. I think the community knows that a month or so ago, we had a ton of vandalism in the area. We had a few leads. Those were unfounded. We've not been able to track anything down, kind of stalled on that. We had additional vandalism last night on Northwest Highway. The high-dollar equipment out there, $300,000, $400,000 implements sitting there, they discharged fire extinguishers into the cabs of those, was able to locate the key to all the gas caps and stole the key to that. What we're asking is if any citizen knows anything, if they know somebody that knows somebody, we're not really narrowing it to this, but it's generally behavior consistent of young adults and juveniles. We think that likely it's probably that. We've reached out to the school resource officers to see if they hear anything in the school system, but we welcome any input on that. They call in, you can be anonymous, whatever, that we get that information to our detective division. But we're trying several things to narrow that down and stop that behavior. So we welcome any input. We're asking any viewers tonight that know anything or to please pass that on for us. So, any questions? Thank you all and have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Item 8C, Fire Department Report. Chief Hughes.
Mayor, Commissioners, this is a report for November 2023. Next slide. Calls for the month, we had 136 emergency calls during the month of November. 29 were overlapping calls. Again, this is when we are out on one call, and before we can clear that call, another one's dispatched for us. 9 of the incidents, a fire had to be extinguished, 1 vehicle fire, 1 heavy equipment fire, 3 grass or brush fires in the city, and then 4 grass or forest fires in the county that we assisted with. 2 people were removed from vehicles with the hydraulic rescue tools on I-40. 1 was a fatality, unfortunately. We had 13 mutual or automatic aid responses to surrounding jurisdictions. Our average time on response time was up a little bit, 5 minutes, 31 seconds. And from time of dispatch to arrival, and then our on-scene time was up a little bit, 26 minutes and 46 seconds. Some of that was that I-40 crash. Next slide. The call breakdown runs about normal. We're running 70% have to do with medical or rescue calls. These are just some pictures of some of the things we did. That's our tanker sitting in Lawrenceburg Fire Department. We were asked, along with some other tankers in Williamson County, to go down. They had a major water line break, was down for over a day, and their fire department asked that we stage some tankers to use for fire suppression in case they had a fire. Would use tankers instead of their water system since it was down. So our guys were down there for about half a day, and they got the system back up when we came home. Next slide. This is our heat map with some pictures of some of those brush fires. That one's a pretty large one that was out in the county over off of Sugar Camp Road. We worked that for several hours with the county. The heat map, again, looks real similar than it does most months. Those hot spots just continue to get hotter. Next slide. Fire prevention activities, we had 24 fire and life safety inspections and follow-ups. Again, only a few minor corrective action notices were issued. We had 12 pre-fire plans completed. Sean loaded 16 hydrants into the record management system with GPS data, and then we had 9 plan reviews were completed. We had 4 hours of public education. Again, if anyone in the city needs smoke alarms added to their house, if they have some that aren't working or too old and can't get them replaced themselves, call the fire department. We will set up a time and we'll come out and install those for you. Next slide. We had, as you guys know, we had to put out a bid for some concrete work on the back pad of the station. The ones on the left side was the condition the concrete was in. We had two really big holes under the concrete. We found out once we pulled them up, they were washed out. They were about a foot deep. Public Works had been patching it with some hot patch, but it just kept caving in. We found out that after we pulled it up, the back pad had no rebar in it, no mesh. Some of the concrete was 4 inches thick, some of it was 2 inches thick. We got huge trucks running over it all day. So on the right side's the new concrete. It's got rebar in it. It's 6 inches thick all the way through. We should not have any problem with that concrete at that station. Next slide. November training hours, we had 329 training hours. We had one member attend Officer 2 school in Dixon. We completed department-wide live burn training in our facility. All 3 crews ran through a full day of burning in our facility. And then we completed our annual pump testing for the trucks. Our new 5-gas meter was put in service, and we had training on it. We hosted the county. They had their volunteers, their brand-new volunteers came and did a ventilation class at our tower. Jake led that, our training officer. And then we had a new hire testing process to replace one of our open spots. Have any questions?
Thank you. Item 8D, Finance Report.
Thank you,
Mr.
Mayor
Daugherty.
and Board. You should have up there with you, the first page is the Board of Commissioners Statement of Expenditures. It provides monthly and year-to-date data on your department. The next report you have is a summary financial statement, which details the month and year-to-date revenue, and then provides a summary of the expenditures, which shows the percentages of where each department is currently based on their budget. Your next report is a bank statement, which is up to date through December 15th. Not statement, but just account balances. And then the last page is the account balance for our local gov investment pool. It's our general fund reserves. Everything, nothing really has jumped out this year. Have some things at the fire department. It's exciting that, you know, that is not more exciting, but they've done a lot of work out there with flooring, and if you get a chance, it looks a little different out there if you get a chance to slide by. We will be having, next meeting will be first read on the amended budget. I will have that in your packet to look over, and I'd love to entertain any questions beforehand, but I'm asking for a work session, and that'll be part of it. So, been a good year. Of course, I always think on fiscal year, but I think we've had a very good 2023. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guess I'll go into the next one.
Item 8E, City Manager Report.
And I did bring up, I'd like to talk about the amended budget. I'd like to have a work session at 6 o'clock on January 4th. Also like to talk about the American Rescue Plan engineering on-call contract that I would like for us to entertain. And then that'll be on the agenda for the 4th as well. I just want to remind everybody that early voting starts December 27th, and it runs through January 6th. Be out at the Fairview Rec Center the 5th and 6th. Election Day is the 11th. City Hall will be closed tomorrow, Friday, and Monday. And I just wanted to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 9, consent agenda. 9A, minutes from December 7th, 2023, Board of Commissioner regular meeting.
Move to approve.
Ms. Jones?
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner Johnson. Vice Mayor Butler. Mayor Anderson.
Aye. Item 9A passes 4-0. Item 10, old business, we have none tonight. Item 11, new business. Item 11A, Resolution 79-23, a resolution authorizing the City of Fairview Fire Department to participate in the James L. Richardson Driver Training Matching Grant Program. Chief Hughes.
I had to get a little information about this because when it showed up on the budget, I was like, what is this? And Jake had submitted it. It's through our insurance company, since he is the safety officer for the city. It's for the whole city, not really the fire department, but it's just to make sure that all of our drivers, he does background checks on their driving record, just to make sure that we don't have anything out there that we don't know about. But it's $150. They're matching $150, so the whole thing's $300. It's just for annual checks, background checks on the drivers.
Second.
Any questions? Ms. Jones?
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner Johnson. Vice Mayor Butler.
Aye.
Mayor Anderson.
Aye. Item 11B passes 4-0. Item 11C,
11A, I believe.
sorry, you're right.
Mayor.
Item A passes 4-0. Item B, 11B is Resolution 80-23, a resolution authorizing the City of Fairview Police Department to award officers their badge and service weapon upon retirement. Chief Humphreys.
Yes, Mayor and Board, this is not something, it's commonplace in most agencies. You spend that time, we put in there that the last 10 years must be served at Fairview, a service to us here. We had added a little bit different. A lot of them don't deal with a disabled officer or a line of duty death. We thought that was important to memorialize that and give that gift. Most departments do that at case by case as they have somebody come up for retirement, they present that. What we want to do was do that by resolution. If the resolution passes, I'll put that in policy, in my policy manual, so long after I'm gone and the board's gone, that's a continual practice for Fairview to honor those officers in that way.
Move for approval. Second. Question, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Is that something you do at a ceremony downstairs, or do you bring them up here and,
Since I've been here, we've not had one retire, but when they do, it is our desire to have a ceremony and present that weapon to them and that badge of service to them. Additionally, if they're retiring in good standing, I'll issue them a retired commission, that also, but that is our desire to do that and honor them in that way.
would you invite the mayor and board?
Oh, absolutely, invite the mayor and board. Absolutely. We invite everybody as possible because I think that's a good send-off for an officer if they've done that and served our community in that manner.
Absolutely.
Jones?
Commissioner Johnson. Vice Mayor Butler. Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Mayor Anderson.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 11B passes 4-0. Item 11C, first reading, ordinance 2023-11, an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance of the City of Fairview, Tennessee by rezoning 4.35 acres of property located on 621 Highway 96, consisting of Williamson County Tax Map 022P, Group B, Parcel 007.00, Commercial General CG to RM8 Multifamily Residential, property owner SM Commercial LLC. And
Second.
Developer Tim Mangrum's here to represent. Any questions from the board?
Commissioners, I would just like to note that this rezoning came out of the Planning and Engineering Department with a recommendation for approval. And at the Planning Commission, it received a recommendation for approval to come to you.
This is all gonna be condos.
That is the plan, yes, sir. And let me say too, I'm sorry for missing the meeting 2 weeks ago. It totally slipped my mind. There's too much going on, and I was home doing nothing, so I just totally forgot, so I'll apologize.
Jones?
Commissioner Johnson? Commissioner Hall?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Butler? Mayor Anderson?
Aye. Item 11C passes
Thank you.
4-0.
Thank you.
Item 11D, first reading, ordinance 2023-12, an ordinance of the City of Fairview, Tennessee to increase the competitive bid requirement to $25,000. City Manager Tom Darty.
Thank you, Mayor Board. A few years back, the state passed where, you know, if the board so chooses to increase the limit to 25,000, we feel it would aid in expediting some of the procurement process. Also, we also believe that the previous limit was pretty outdated. Any questions, I'm welcome to entertain or as well.
Move to approve.
Yeah, I feel this is a good plan because with the increase in prices on, you know, different items, the prior amount was just inadequate. So I think this is good moving forward. Any other questions? Ms. Jones?
Commissioner Hall?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Butler? Commissioner Johnson? Mayor Anderson?
Aye. Item 11D passes 4-0. Item 11E, Resolution 81-23, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Fairview, Tennessee, authorizing the mayor to execute the site development agreement contract for Cedar Crest subdivision. City Engineer, which I assume, Ethan, you'll speak on that.
I will. The Cedar Crest subdivision consists of 30 townhome buildings consisting of 137 individual townhome units. It was, the development plan was approved on September 13th, 2022 by the Planning Commission. The bonds for Cedar Crest subdivision have been set as a reclamation bond for $2,032,294. And their performance bond has been set for $4,410,132.
Move to approve.
Any other discussion? Ms. Jones?
Commissioner Hall?
Aye.
Commissioner Johnson? Vice Mayor Butler?
Aye.
Mayor Anderson?
Aye. Item 11E passes 4-0. Item 11F, ordinance 2023-13 will be planning and engineering fee schedule. And that will be also Mr. Greer, our city planner.
This ordinance that you have before you tonight is an ordinance to amend Title 12 of the City of Fairview Municipal Code, sections related to the city's fee structures for permits and fees related to single-family detached and duplex residential building permits. This ordinance before you will require 2 readings. This would be the first reading of this, and it would increase the building permit fee from $1.50 to $1.85 per square foot under roof, including storage areas accessible by permanent stairways and doorways. Over the course of the last few months, we've had a couple discussions, some individual discussions with board members, some individual discussions with looking through the Parks Master Plan. And the Parks Master Plan indicated that we needed to fund our parks a little bit more. And so if you'll take a look in the resolution, or in the ordinance, it also has 42% of this amount would be allocated towards the general fund, 42% to the facilities fund, and 16% of that, which is 30 cents out of the 35-cent increase, goes to the Parks and Recreation Fund. That increase, on average, we have close to 100 to 110 building permits on average. Our average square footage of home is right around 2,000 square feet. That would put approximately $70,000 to $80,000 a year from building permits into our parks fund. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer any of them.
Anyone have any questions about this for Ethan?
I'm just glad to see that the parks is getting some benefit from the building permits.
Ms. Jones?
Commissioner Johnson. Vice Mayor Butler.
Aye.
Commissioner Hall.
Aye.
Mayor Anderson.
Aye. Item 11F passes 4-0. Item 12, roundtable mayor discussion, mayor and commissioners. Commissioner Hall?
I was wanting to think a while.
Oh, you mean switch?
No.
Commissioner Johnson?
No, I'm going to go. I appreciate it. First off, I want to thank the police and fire, all the city employees, and hope they have a Merry Christmas. We had a great dinner the other day. I really enjoyed that. And I want to thank our citizens. There's just so much happening out there, and the citizens seem to be behind everything that's going on, and I think they're going to see the progress that's going to happen in Fairview in the next few years. It's just going to be unreal. If we can just get the state on board to help us out on the roads here in Highway 100. We're going to try to do what we can to see if we can move that along as much as possible. Thanks. Merry Christmas, everybody, and hope you have a good New Year. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Johnson?
Thank you, Mayor. While it's on my mind, just let the board and staff know that January the 18th, I will not be at that meeting. I will be out of town. But I will be here on the 4th for all the second readings of everything we just did this evening. And just like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas.
Vice Mayor Butler?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you to all of our staff for a successful 2023 and continuing to represent our community so great and working so hard. It was great to be part of that staff lunch last week and get to see everyone. It's not very we don't get to see everyone that often. So you put everybody in one room, got to see the fire hall. It was a good day, and we also got our Thanksgiving. But Merry Christmas to all the citizens, to all our staff, and thank everyone.
I did want to ask, I know during the Planning Commission, we set the schedule for the year. Are we doing that in January for BOC? Because I know there are a few conflicts.
I know Rachel has looked at some of that. I think if maybe at one of the next meetings, we can maybe move some or say, hey, let's have whatever the board chooses, we're welcome. We're fine to change the calendar and schedule anyway. We'll see.
Let's just put that on the next, on the agenda for the first meeting in January to discuss the schedule for the year. I did look at it, and there are maybe 2 or 3 conflicts with the holidays or spring, fall break. So we'll just be ready to, possibly move a few of those.
by resolution, so there should be a simple resolution to approve the calendar. We can revise the calendar, and then we can adopt it as the
Sounds good. Okay, I had the privilege right before the meeting tonight to go to the rec center with several people, and our county mayor, Rogers Anderson, was there. We got to speak and just congratulate two young men who earned their Eagle Scout badge. My brother got his Eagle Scout badge when I was young, and I remember what all the effort he had to put in the hard work. The two Eagle Scouts are Jacob C. and Tyler Gill. Jacob C., he did a refresh. The Eagle Scouts, before they get their badge, they have to do a project. And so his project was a refresh and cleanup of the Hudgens Cemetery. And Eagle Scout Tyler Gill, he did a refresh and work on the pavilions at Bowie Nature Park. So it's kind of awesome that, you know, they do projects in our community, which is really cool. So Jacob C. is in the Army as a combat engineer, and Tyler Gill is at Tennessee Tech doing computer science. So I just want to congratulate those two young men. It was awesome to be a part of that ceremony. Excited about Shop with a Cop. Thank you guys for, 44 kids. That's great. It was, I can't name, I know that y'all know who gave to this program. And I encourage anyone who wants to give to just start, preparing for next year. And we'll be able to even increase that 44 number, but that was awesome. I know those kids are excited to be with y'all last Saturday and just, get to do that shop, that day. So I know that was exciting for them. I want to also say, just another congratulations to the Fairview Titans football team, the Pee-wees, that's incredible, knowing that they only had 15 kids when, I guess it's like high school, they have 11, right, on the line. So just think about that. Other teams having 30 and 40 kids and these boys having 15, how they didn't really get to swap in and out that much. And to be undefeated and win the Super Bowl, that's a great accomplishment. So they hats off to them. Let's see. I want to, I've been able to meet Officer Fry and Officer Brooks. Awesome lady and gentleman. A great addition to our police department. Just want to, congratulate them for being in what I consider the best city in Williamson County. So I know we have a great police department, and I know they're going to be a great addition to that. I want to thank our staff. This year, I can't believe it's been a year. I was elected a year ago, and I can't believe it's already been a year, but we have made a lot of changes, and we've got a lot of new people on board. Each one of you that indulge me. I know that I don't have a time clock in my brain, so if something comes to my mind, I just hit the phone and I start calling. Y'all all know that. I apologize, but y'all are all so gracious to be there for me and answer my questions, and just know that I support each of you. I support the police and the fire and each one of our staff, Josh Hogan, Patrick Carter, our legal staff, and luckily we were able to get Griggs back on board. I love that group with, our engineering planning, with, working with Ethan Greer in our planning department. We just, we have the best staff, and I'm so excited. At our lunch, we got to meet a lot of people and just sit down and enjoy, doing it all together. And that was one thing when I got elected last year, I wanted to see is everything, unified. it just seemed to me like there was a little bit of a disconnect, but I feel now, I mean, I feel it from our citizens. I'm next door most of the time, and everybody knows where I'm at, so they get to come and communicate with me and just give me feedback. And it's, I mean, I can't tell you how our citizens are in such support of us. And this, you know, all of us working together and just the unification that I feel with our city staff, our board, and our community, it's just better than I've ever seen it. So I want to thank all of y'all because, you know, you've worked so hard in Public Works with Todd Bratchert. Boy, I mean, it doesn't matter what happens. If we have, you know, something that happens in the middle of the night, those guys are out there. They're working really hard, you know, when we have storms or in the field. I know that Tom and we've been through the trenches in the last year. It was a lot for the first few months, and I appreciate we've worked really well together through all of this. And this board, I mean, you see when we vote, most of the time you're getting a unanimous, and it's because we just have a vision for Fairview that we just want to serve this community. And I just can't tell you, the Planning Commission, the Board of Commissioners, this staff, the fire and the police, we care about this community. We want what's best for everyone. So I just want to wish everyone a happy Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and just be blessed and prosperous. Let me just make sure, you know how I am. I got to make sure that I've covered all my notes. I think I have. So this will be a wrap for 2023, and we'll see everybody next year. Do I entertain a motion to adjourn? So moved. Thank you, guys.